Since attending Honda's original Talon 1000X and R intro a year ago, I've managed to get a decent amount of seat time in various Talon units, but getting one on the ground at the TRAX World headquarters had proved to be a bit difficult. Finally though, that shiny red beast rolled off the truck and not a second was wasted in giving it a thorough shakedown on my own turf. Today, I finally get to bring you TRAX TV's first official test ride on a Talon 1000X. From the moment I laid eyes and hands on a Talon, there was no question it is built to a different standard than most sport side-by-sides on the market today. Top-level finish quality is evident everywhere, from the fit of the plastics to the tactile quality of the interior to the look and feel of the switchgear. These doors are a prime example of what I'm talking about. Sure, they're just a set of doors, but they close tight, they don't rattle, they're even nicely finished on the inside. The seats are comfortable and supportive. The passenger grab handle is a familiar single-post T-bar style unit, but where the competition simply uses a pin to hold theirs in position, Honda uses a clamping lever that holds it in position but also eliminates any potential for rattling. The dashboard is flashy with its color-matched center console, but even the switchgear isn't just cool looking, it actually feels better than any other switchgear I've used. The dash is one of the few places I've found something to complain about with the Talon though. I'll just come right out and say it. Center-mounted gauges are not ideal, and I don't like them. On a utility vehicle, they are livable, but on a sports side-by-side where you need to be able to read your gauge at a quick glance, having it in the center of the dash means you have to look not just down, but also to the right to read it. The center mounting location is farther away than if it were directly in front of the driver as well. All of this is compounded by the tiny size of the LCD screen itself and the fact that it's jam-packed with way too much information to be read at a quick glance anyway, but this is the only gripe I have about the Talon's interior. The X after the 1000 decal on the side of the Talon means this is the more trail-focused 64-inch wide model. Where I live in Ontario, Canada, this unit makes way more sense than the wider and longer 1000R. A set of double A-arms produce 14.6 inches of travel up front, and a set of 3-link trailing arms produce 15.1 inches of travel out back. All of this is damped by a set of Fox Podium 2.0 QS3 shocks. This setup has provided an impressively plush and smooth ride in all the typical East Coast style riding conditions I've tested it in. From rough trails to fast fire roads and rail beds, I've found setting the QS3s to full soft offered a smooth ride without sacrificing big bump absorption. If you want to hit some jumps, just bump up the QS3s to medium or firm and you're good for a day at the track. Some would argue that the most important aspect of any sport side-by-side is its engine and transmission. And it's no secret that Honda uses some pretty interesting technology to transfer power to the ground. But before we get into that, I think it's important to understand where the Talon 1000X is positioned in the market and what models it directly competes with. At 64 inches wide and naturally aspirated, it's directly competing with models like the Maverick Sport X XC, YXZ 1000R, and Polaris's Razor XP 1000. All of these units make between 100 and 115 ponies, which means the Talon fits right in the middle of the pack when it comes to horsepower. But when you consider that the Talon utilizes a gear-on-gear transmission, not a CVT, it, like the YXZ, has a 15% horsepower advantage over the Can-Am and Polaris, essentially making the Talon the industry's second most powerful naturally aspirated sport side-by-side. That is nothing to scoff at, and it's certainly nothing to complain about. The 1000cc twin found under the hood of the Talon is built from a combination of parts from the Pioneer 1000 and Honda's Africa Twin motorcycle. Thanks to both strong twin-cylinder torque and Honda's DCT transmission, jamming your foot to the floor in the Talon will almost snap your head back as it accelerates with aggression. You would swear there's considerably more horsepower under the hood. The transmission is similar to what's found in both the Pioneer and Africa Twin as well, but with side-by-side specific programming. For the first time in my life, I have found that Honda's auto shift programming actually makes it easier to drive faster in all conditions when sport mode is selected. Shifts are faster and more aggressive. It holds the gears longer before upshifts, but downshifts faster on decel. It will also immediately downshift when you stab the throttle at higher speeds, but it happens so fast you won't even notice it. When I jammed the throttle at 55 miles an hour, it downshifted before my foot even hit the floor. That's impressive to say the least. I found in regular auto mode, it does suffer from the same never in the right gear, always shifting when you don't want it to issues I've found with other Honda DCT equipped units when you try to drive aggressively. With that said, if you drive more mellow, even the regular auto settings seem fine to me. A large cargo bed gives you more than enough room to take all your stuff with you wherever you go, and the inclusion of a roof as standard equipment means you really don't need to buy anything extra for your Talon before you leave the dealership. Every time I log more miles on our Talon 1000X, I'm continually impressed with how great a job Honda did with their first entry into the sports side-by-side arena. Other than the position of the gauge, there's nothing else I don't like about this side-by-side, and I suspect anyone else who gives it a try is going to agree with me wholeheartedly as well. Thanks for watching TRAX TV. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button and leave us a comment. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already, and if you want to be notified of future updates, make sure you turn the bell on. Thanks for watching.